Hello and welcome to Dead Creepy Podcast, brought to you from South Wales, UK. My name is Claire Barrand, and with me is my sister, Linzi Smith. Hi, Linzi.
Hello.
Now, we're actually sat together in the same room because we've bought a new microphone.
Just the one.
Yeah, just the one. Just the one. Just for now.
So we've got to share it.
Yeah, so we're going to share it. So, anybody who had listened to our previous podcasts, if you've noticed that the audio wasn't quite as perfect as it could have been, I'm hoping that this one will actually sound a lot better, and that our investment has been worth it. So it picks up a lot of sounds. I can see up the little wiggly lines. Can you hear that? What does that sound like?
Oh, it sounds like ice cubes in a nice glass of wine.
And that's exactly what it is. Oh, let's have a sip. Because it's a beautiful day outside. It's about 29 degrees and we are sat inside recording the podcast. So that should show you our dedication to you.
To bring you paranormal news.
Exactly. So let's go straight into PARANEWS.
PARANEWS.
This week's PARANEWS, anybody who has been following any kind of paranormal topic on social media like Facebook or Twitter can't fail to have missed this one. It's about a Scottish family who have advertised for a new nanny, and they have offered £50,000 salary a year.
Wow.
I know, because they've had 5 nannies quit already. And this isn't because, they're not saying that this is because the children were little darlings or not so little darlings. They're saying this is because their house is haunted. So basically, the newspapers are all reporting this at the moment in the UK. And so a family in Scotland want a live-in nanny. The Borders family posted the job online after losing 5 nannies in a year due to supernatural happenings in their home. The ad appeared on childcare.co.uk last week. They're looking for a nanny willing to look after their 2 kids, aged 5 and 7, and they're offering them whopping £50,000 salary to the brave candidate who can put up with the house's spooky tendencies. Past employees have reported strange noises, moving furniture and glasses shattering throughout the house. The nanny must be willing to spend long periods of time in the house alone and sleep there 4 nights a week, Monday through to Friday, to look after the kids. Well, they're not alone totally, are they? So they're alone in the house. The parents won't be there.
Yeah, so they're alone with the children.
Alone with the children 4 nights a week. The family has already had a number of nannies approach them for more details. However, none of them actually applied for the job, which has been advertised on the site since 29th of May. Wow. Richard Conway, the founder and CEO of childcare.co.uk, said, "When we saw the advert, we were stunned. Some of the guys at HQ were sceptical, but after talking to the family and their previous employees, we realised it was a genuine position. We have had hundreds of thousands of providers on the site, and we're hoping that one of them will be able to help. We've had some weird and wonderful families find childcare providers through the site. However, I think this is the most interesting story we've heard, and the family has assured us that no harm has come to anyone living in the house. However, the nanny will have to have a strong disposition."
You know what it reminds me of?
What was that?
That film, The Boy.
Oh, yes! Yeah.
Because they've interviewed a lot of nannies, but the boy, the child, didn't like them.
It's creepy, but I've not seen the film, but I really want to see that.
I won't tell you what happens. But yeah, it's it's a spooky house. They've interviewed a load of nannies. The last one lasted 2 weeks. The one before that, however long.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of spooky stuff going on in that house.
Oh. Yeah. Hey, you know what else it reminded me of?
What?
Mary Poppins. Jane and Michael Banks. Because those two kids were little brats, weren't they?
They were, and they were deliberately getting rid of the nannies by playing up for them.
Yeah, they were. And I think that there's a possibility here that the children are playing tricks on the nannies. In the story of Mary Poppins, it was because their daddy was working away at the bank all the time, and they never saw him.
Yeah.
And they thought if they couldn't find a nanny, then he'd have to give up his job.
Yes, they managed to get him sacked.
They basically managed to get the poor guy sacked. Not only did they get him sacked, they pretty much had a complete physical and mental breakdown at the same time. But the moral of the story is that basically the guy shouldn't be working and should be at home looking after his kids. And I guess the mother was a suffragette, and so she was out votes for women and all of that stuff. So maybe she went out, because we never got part 2 of Mary Poppins.
No.
And Mary Poppins popped off at the end. I don't mean she died. But she floated off into the sky, so they didn't get another nanny. So
yeah, if you've never seen Mary Poppins, you now know the whole film.
Well, if you've never seen Mary Poppins, then, oh my God. It's about 100 years old, that film. But it's got absolutely nothing to do with the paranormal.
It's not very
But
paranormal.
it did remind me of that nanny story.
Yeah, there is a lot of levitation.
Now there's a thing, because it's a Disney film, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it's Disney. Mary Poppins is Disney.
Yeah.
So levitation is in it. Definitely some disappearing objects.
Oh, interdimensional travel, when they jump into the chalk painting.
They do.
Mm.
And those horses come to life as well. The roundabout horses that they jump on. And that chimney sweep's he's a bit creepy guy as well, isn't he? Really is. Hey, what about the guy that laughs and his chair floats?
It's levitation again, yeah.
So actually, I take that back. Mary Poppins is probably one of the most paranormal films you can. Recommendation from the Dead Creepy Girls. Go watch Mary Poppins.
Top 10 paranormal films. Monsters Inc.
Yeah. Okay, well, staying on the theme of TV and films and stuff.
Are we finished with that story?
Yeah, we finished with that. Unless there was something else you wanted to add.
I think we were just going to say that it's probably easier to tell parents if you didn't want to work for them that you're leaving because there's paranormal activity in the house than saying, I'm really sorry, but your kids are absolute little pains in the backside.
Yeah.
And I can't cope.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a qualified nanny. Years ago, I did my NNEB childcare and worked with children for 10 years, and the salary was very poor. In fact, my first ever job, I worked in a children's day nursery in Abergavenny, and I only got paid just under £6,000 a year. And that was 9 to 5 job. However, I had to be there for 8:45, and sometimes I'd be there till gone 6:30 at night because the parents would be stuck in traffic. And obviously, you can't just go home at the end of the day if you've got a child in your care. You have to stay there, and I didn't get paid overtime for that either.
That's shocking.
It is shocking. It's one of the lowest paid careers out there. So for £50,000 salary, I would have thought they'd be inundated. I would have thought people would put up with a ghost.
There'll be a lot of paranormal investigators applying for that position.
Wonder how many of those 5 nannies, they certainly weren't being paid 50k then.
Perhaps they should advertise it as a position for a paranormal investigator. Must like children. As a side note.
Yes. Yeah. I think they're advertising in the wrong location.
Yeah.
So don't put your advert on childcare.co.uk. Put it on in fact, I tell you what, write to us and we'll put it on our Facebook page. We'll advertise it for you.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, Scottish family, we'll find you a nanny. We'll find somebody nice, won't we? We know lots of nice people who like children. Well, good luck and good luck finding the right person. Mm-hmm. Whoever does go for the job, I'd like to know. I'd love to know what happens. I doubt we'll find out, but
if all else fails, we'll find you an exorcist.
And I was just going to say, I would have said it for 50k a year, but wouldn't it be cheaper to just move house? Especially as they're not there half the week. Why don't you just move house? Simple. Going on to other Paranews. Have you ever heard of Charlotte Crosby?
Yes.
She used to be in Geordie Shore, and she's been in Big Brother and various things. She's posted something up on the internet, and the Daily Mirror and the Sun, all tabloids have picked up on it. And she has posted up a video that she did with her boyfriend. They're staying somewhere in Spain on holiday, and they believe their apartment is haunted. So she posted up this video explaining of all the paranormal things that have been happening. So I'll just give you a quick brief down of Charlotte's story. Basically, Charlotte Crosby and her boyfriend Stephen Bear have been left petrified by a potential poltergeist after witnessing furniture in their flat moving by itself and doors being slammed shut without human intervention. The terrified reality star gave her Snapchat followers a tour of the Spanish apartment where she and Bear are currently staying, but insisted there were spooky happenings afoot. No words of a lie, this flat is haunted, she told her fans, because she's got a proper Geordie accent, so I'm afraid I can't do that.
No,
so I can't
not to attempt that.
So I'm doing it in a bit of a Welsh / Mancunian accent. The things that have been happening here, we get back, and crazy things have happened. Doors are locked. So basically, her boyfriend took up the story as he led Charlotte into the bathroom, and where a maintenance hatch could be seen in the ceiling. She said, "This is the most freakiest thing that's happened in here so far. It's horrible." So Charlotte went in, had a shower, and then I went in for some reason. This hatch was now unlocked, he said, looking scared. I've seen the video and he doesn't look scared to me. But yeah, Charlotte was hysterical in the video, going, "The hatch in the roof was open. There's no handle. How could anyone have opened that? It was just dangling open. Just this big black hole in the ceiling." So they demonstrated that. And the open hatch wasn't the only thing to freak out the Just Tattoo of Us lovebirds.
Oh, it's a plug for their show.
Yeah. Clever. Mm-hmm. They also watched a drinks trolley fly across the room without being pushed. It's like,
you know what really shocked me?
What's that?
That they've got a 1970s hostess trolley in their apartment.
It's really old-fashioned, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those trolleys are great fun if you run across a room that's long and then dive on it.
Not that we've ever done that.
No. And skid across the room. They're fantastic fun. So I was standing here, I was talking to the girls, and suddenly this done this, said Bear, giving the trolley a shove. And it moved like that, but without anyone. It moved from here to there and nobody pushed it. It did it on its own.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So if that wasn't enough, the terror-stricken couple also had to contend with the doors in their flat closing at random whilst they were out. The door had a door stop-in. Whenever we come back, one or both of the doors are shut. How? She says. By the way, I did not stress that when the cabinet rolled. Oh my God, I thought it just moved again. When it rolled across the room, it rolled in front of our eyes. And we all just went, what's happening? So fans of the two have now begged them to do their own TV ghost hunting show together.
Or maybe one person suggested it.
Yeah, I really don't think that would be a good idea. I'm sorry. If they get freaked out by doors shutting and the hostess trolley moving.
You know what it could be? It could be just maintenance going in if it's not their apartment, they're on holiday, it could be just staff going housekeeping, going in, doing stuff while they're out.
That's it.
It doesn't really explain the drinks trolley. But, you know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
Do you remember a few years ago a news story about, was it a man that discovered a woman had been living in his closet for a year without him knowing? Was it a man or was it a woman that found a man? I can't remember which one.
It was a man. Should we Google it and find out?
Yeah, we're going to find that story.
I remember it.
Yeah, because he thought that all these strange things were going on.
Yeah.
In his house, like, you know, fridge, things were being moved from the fridge, and stuff was being moved, and it was all just a bit unnerving, so he set up a camera, I think, didn't he?
I found it.
Have you?
Yeah, listen to this. This was written in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been lying in bed late at night when suddenly you hear the floor creak? You brush it off as the house settling, or the family cat pouncing around in the dark. But then the noise continue. Things start to disappear and you sense that you're being watched. Are you just being paranoid? Or is something else going on? For a bachelor living in Tokyo, he learned that the mysterious things happening in his apartment were something far creepier than just the house swaying in the wind. In 2008, in Tokyo, Japan, a man living alone began noticing things in his apartment being moved. Food would disappear from his refrigerator. Things wouldn't be where he placed them. That happens in my house all the time.
This is you want to tell a sandwich.
It is. And he had a strange feeling that someone had been inside of his home. Thinking that a burglar was entering the house when he wasn't there, the man set up a surveillance camera. The hidden camera would take photos and send them directly to his cell phone. And what he would see absolutely terrified him. The photos showed a person moving around his home. Frightened by the mystery person violating his sanctuary, the man notified the police. When they arrived, they initially couldn't find anyone. The doors were locked and there was no apparent break-in, but then the officers opened his closet. And inside the closet, they found a 58-year-old homeless woman named Tatsuko Horikawa. She was tucked into the top of the built-in closet, seated comfortably on a small mattress.
I'm glad that they checked how comfortable she was. Hello, woman, what are you doing there? Are you comfortable?
And she was at the top of a built-in closet. She must have, been a contortionist to get in there. A mattress. Wow. The woman told police she'd been living inside the man's closet for over a year after initially entering the unlocked home.
You know what this proves?
What?
That men don't look properly.
They certainly never clean up.
You know when you say, have you seen that blanket or whatever?
Yeah.
And they say, I've had a look, can't find it. And you haven't looked properly. He's obviously never looked at the top of his wardrobe, has he?
He certainly never cleaned it out. The amount of cobwebs and things that would be in them, dust.
Shocking.
Imagine going to his house for a sleepover, if you're a guest, and he says, I'll just grab the spare mattress. It's been in there for a year.
Mm.
Not had an airing out. It could be full of flies and cobwebs and dust. Good grief. It's just disgusting, isn't it? Anyway, Horikawa reportedly said she was coming and going from the storage closet unnoticed by the homeowner. Yeah, typical man. She would shower, eat his food, and sleep in the closet. All whilst the male resident remained completely unaware of her presence, and the woman was charged with trespassing. Wow.
The thing is, though, it's so if it was the other way around, if it was a man living in a woman's apartment, this would not be a story.
No.
A woman would know if 1 ounce of her shampoo had been used.
Yeah.
Someone has used it.
Yeah. You'd know if there were drops of water on the shower screen.
Yes.
You'd know, wouldn't you? And
yeah.
if it was a man using a woman's apartment, he's going to forget to
put the toilet seat down.
So clearly, this can only work this way. This is why it was a woman living in a man's apartment. I wonder if she ever did anything nice for him, any tidying up.
Yeah, probably.
She clearly cleaned up after herself. She obviously washed the cups. She probably made herself a nice bit of lunch whilst he was in work.
Yeah.
And just got back into the closet when he came home, and, you know, she was there. So was the closet in his bedroom? Because he'd have been...
That's really creepy, isn't it?
He'd have been snoring away at night and she was in there the whole time. What if she needed the toilet? Like, once he was home, she'd have to go for hours without going.
You'd have to ask her. Do you think she's on Facebook? Look her up.
Do you think she could she be on our show?
If you're listening...
There we go. Well, that's interesting. Wow. So it just goes to show that if things are moving around in your house, obviously the more logical explanation is that there's somebody in your closet.
Yeah, no, I prefer the ghost theory.
Or somebody's in the airing cupboard or the attic.
Yeah.
Well, Charlotte Crosby was in Big Brother.
Oh, yes.
And we've just, Big Brother 2017 has been on our screens for about 2 weeks now. June the 5th, sorry. It started series 18. And interestingly, some of the housemates in the past episodes have seen a ghost. More than one. Gemma Collins was the first one to actually see an apparition, or what she believed to be an apparition standing behind the curtain. So I've written an article this week. I've been busy writing. So if you go to our Facebook page, you'll see the article. If you're a Big Brother fan, or even if you're not a Big Brother fan, if you are interested at all in the paranormal, this is
you should be if you're listening.
Well, yeah, exactly. Why are you listening to this show if you're not? But basically, Elstree Studios is where Big Brother is filmed, and it's based in London. It's about 20 minutes from the heart of London, the studio, and it's been open since the 1920s, and they've done pretty much, all the films you can think of, like
Mary Poppins.
Well, Raiders of the Lost Ark was filmed there. The very first feature film ever to be filmed there was called Madame Pompadour, and it was a silent film.
Oh, right, like one of those black and white films to music.
And it starred the screen actress Dorothy Gish. But also they've got all the current TV shows like Strictly Come Dancing, The Voice, Celebrity Juice, The Chase. They're all filmed there. Anyway, so Big Brother is filmed at Elstree Studios, and there's been more than one episode in the house in past series where somebody said they've seen a ghost or something paranormal happened. So I did a bit of digging around and I've written about it, and I've found a bit about the history. So if you're interested, go and have a look at my article. Most Haunted Live when they used to do the live shows back in 2005, they did an episode at Elstree Studios, and Derek Acora was their medium at the time, and he was on the show. I loved the Derek Acora episodes, and he always got possessed, didn't he?
Yeah, every single week.
Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick. If you don't know what we're talking about, go to YouTube and put in Most Haunted, Mary Loves Dick. And I promise you, you're in for a treat. It's very funny. Derek was talking through his spirit guide. I think
was he
Sam?
Yeah.
And it was very funny. But anyway, they did an investigation at Elstree, and Derek Acora said he picked up on the spirit of a man wandering around the dressing rooms. What a perv.
Yeah.
Bit of a pervy spirit hovering around the dressing rooms. But interestingly, Derek Acora is one of the special celebrity guests that is rumoured to be going into the house this summer.
Ooh.
I know! How cool. So, I mean, let's
I hope he gets possessed.
Let's wait and see. Yeah, so, well, not in a bad way, but in a Derek way.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
let's hope he can do a bit more investigating if he does go back in there. So yeah, interesting. Something else I put up on Facebook this week was I asked our listeners what ringtones they had on their phone.
Ah, okay.
This is something, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a bit sad. What do you mean? Maybe I'm just. I was just curious because when you've got a hobby, quite often you have a ringtone that reflects your hobby.
You do indeed.
So say it's like your favourite, it could be a theme tune to your favourite movie. So if you're massively into Star Trek or Star Wars, you'd have the theme tune or,
Yeah.
So I was thinking paranormal peeps. What have you got as your ringtone? Is there anything paranormal you've got? My current one, it's not so much paranormal, it's more supernatural because I love fairies. So mine's Fairies Wear Boots by Black Sabbath. Shall I give you a little blast?
Let's
this is mine. I do also have.
I remember you having that on.
So yeah, what other ghostly ringtones do you think people might have? What have you got on your phone? Well, do you have a ghostly one, or do you just have one that reflects a different hobby of yours?
This is mine.
Oh, well, I'm not surprised about that. Ducks are your hobby because you breed them. But it's not very paranormal, is it?
It's not. Well, they are they're black ducks, so they're dark.
They're goth ducks.
Yeah, they are goth ducks. The Black East Indies.
Oh, but you've got some news about them.
I have, yes. I've got ducklings hatching today.
Yay! Oh,
I think there's 7.
7 ducklings.
7 ducklings hatching
wow.
today. More due later this week.
Oh, that's so sweet. Good. But it's not paranormal. Here's one. I bet loads of people have got this one. Dun, dun. Dun, dun. Yeah, I bet loads of people have got that one.
So when you posted it on our page, what did everyone reply with? Did anyone?
Teddy Daniels. He's one of our regular listeners.
He's our listener.
He's our Teddy's our listener in Skegness. Our single listener. Teddy, he says he's got John Carpenter Halloween theme. So bear with me. Yeah, I like that one.
That's good.
Yeah, we approve of that one, Teddy. That's
good.
cool.
Is that a paid one?
It's 99p on iTunes.
How much? There's a free one that's quite supernatural. Let's find it.
Oh, that's quite creepy.
I like that one.
Come on, give us some ideas, guys. This one says it's a scary ghost Halloween ringtone.
Oh, I wonder. That's almost what I
It's pretty much the same. You have to pay 99p for that one.
Oh, mine's free.
Yeah. I wonder what Daryl's got. Oh. Now that I'd like to know what Daryl Whitebottom, our resident skeptic's got. So
yeah.
Tell you what, when we'll do PARAPADDY and we'll ring Daryl afterwards.
Yeah.
And when he answers the phone, because we have to Skype him obviously for recording purposes, but we text him to say that we're about to call, so he's ready. So we know he'll have his mobile with him.
Yeah, that's fair.
So should we ring him?
Yeah.
We won't tell him that's what we're going to do. We'll just see what he has as his ringtone. But bear in mind, he is a skeptic. I'll tell you. So shall we go to PARAPADDY this week?
Let's go to PARAPADDY, yeah.
Who's having a PARAPADDY this week?
Okay, so this is something that I posted up on Facebook as well this week, and it's actually been one of the most popular, in fact, no, not one of, it has been the most popular post that we've put up so far to date on our Dead Creepy Facebook page. Very controversial topic. So I'm just going to run through it and then we can discuss it. Basically, the headline this week has been Vatican Chief Exorcist warns that yoga causes demonic possession.
Right.
Catholic Church claims that practicing vinyasa and watching Harry Potter are satanic acts. So, the Vatican's top exorcist has spoken out in condemnation of yoga and fantasy novels, branding them as satanic acts that lead to demonic possession. Okay, there's some names in here that I'm gonna murder, but Father Cesar Truquai has warned that the Catholic Church has seen a recent spike in worldwide reports of people becoming possessed by demons, and that the reason for the sudden uptick is the rise in popularity of pastimes such as watching Harry Potter movies and practicing vinyasa. Is vinyasa a type of yoga?
It's a type of yoga, yeah.
Okay. Professor Giuseppe Ferrari, who has recently attended a meeting in Rome where Catholic authorities and delegates discussed how to deal with this alleged demonic possession crisis, says that the Vatican has declared that shows that glorify wizards and activities such as yoga summon satanic spirits.
Right. You know what that reminds me?
Yeah.
That's going to become my catchphrase. Now, when I used to take my oldest to a church toddler group, now one year for the teddy bears picnic, they booked a bouncy castle, and the bouncy castle turned up, and it had wizards painted on it. Yeah. And the kind of church curator type person kicked off.
No way.
Yeah, apparently wizards were really bad. So, yeah, there was a bit of a bind. That was a PARAPADDY, actually.
Was it a proper PARAPADDY?
It was a paddy. Yeah. So yeah, that happened.
Oh my god, so it was an actual PARAPADDY row with a curator over wizards painted on a child's bouncy castle.
Yeah. Apparently we weren't allowed wizards.
So did you have to take it down?
No, we still had the picnic and kids were allowed to bounce. But
did anyone get possessed as a result?
No, not that I know of. No.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Oh my goodness, right. Well, I've heard it all now. The Catholic Church also has ruled that watching TV shows such as True Blood and The Vampire Diaries that contain demonic characters who are portrayed as beautiful human beings with desirable characteristics and superpowers may lure the unsuspecting into dabbling in the occult, which could lead to sinful deeds such as harming a child. That's really, really extreme view, isn't it? I absolutely cannot categorically agree with any of that.
Yeah, not quite sure where they can move on with that one.
No, me neither. And even the controversy continues because it says Monsignor Luigi Negri, the Archbishop of Ferrara Comacchio, who also attended the Vatican crisis meeting, claimed that homosexuality is also another sign that Satan is in the Vatican. Seriously. But this is a genuine report. It's the Independent.
Yeah.
And they reported that Father Cesar says that he has seen many an individual speaking in tongues and exhibiting unearthly strength, two attributes that his religion says indicate the possibility of evil spirits inhabiting a person's body. There are those who try to turn people into vampires and make them drink other people's blood or encourage them to have special sexual relations to obtain special powers, stated Professor Ferrari at the meeting. These groups are attracted by the so-called beautiful young vampires that we've seen so much of in recent years. Is yoga about worshipping Hindu gods, or is it about engaging in advanced stretching and exercise? Because its roots, yoga is said to have originated from the ancient worship of Hindu gods, with the various poses representing unique forms of paying homage to these entities. From this, other religions such as Catholicism and Christianity have concluded that the practice is out of sync with their own and that it may result in demonic spirits entering a person's body. But others contend that yoga practice is really more focused on advanced stretching moves and physical exercise, and that it can bring about healing and improved well-being, such as improved core strength, better circulation and reduced stress. The intent of the person doing the yoga, rather than the yoga itself, in other words, is what defines the extent of how the practice influences a person's being and soul.
Yeah, well, the vinyasa yoga that he's pinpointed there is like, it's a series of poses and it's breath control. So it seems a bit odd that he's perhaps picked that one out. What perhaps you can maybe think to is some of the meditations where you use mantras that aren't in your language, you know, sat, yam, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Om Shanti. If you don't understand what you're chanting, I think it's really important to do your research and find out what you are saying, because perhaps someone could give you a mantra that is...
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has, but
No.
I'm just saying, the more you research a topic, the better educated you are, and you can make good decisions.
So it could be a bit like those, when you go for a tattoo and you want it done in Chinese language and you think it says something really deep.
Yeah, peace and love, or,
but actually,
something really profound. And
then
your Chinese friend tells you you've actually got twice egg and chips. Or whatever.
Chicken fried rice and pork balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you've not done your research and you've now got a terrible tattoo that you have to get covered.
Yeah. So I guess the moral of the story is...
I can see that, but it doesn't really... The story doesn't really make sense when he's picked on a series of exercises and breathing techniques.
That is crazy, but I guess the moral of the story is you should trust your yoga teacher.
Trust your yoga teacher and double check, if they've given you some weird mantra to...
Ask what it means.
Ask what it means. Go and Google it and just check that you're not summoning some demon.
I just very much doubt that.
I've never heard of that happening from a yoga.
You never know, I guess. But Father Truequite sees yoga as being satanic, claiming that it leads to evil, just like reading Harry Potter. Okay. And in order to deal with the consequences of this, his religion has had to bring on an additional 6 exorcists.
Oh my God.
Bringing the total number to 12 to deal with what he says is a 100% rise in the number of requests for exorcisms over the past 15 years.
I just don't get that though. If he's saying it's the past 15 years, why is he blaming yoga? Because that's ancient. That's been around, donkey's years.
Yeah.
Even Western yoga, that was quite a 70s thing, wasn't it? Or 60s even,
Yeah.
It's been around forever.
It has in our society.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense to me.
Why isn't he picking on legs, bums and tums?
Exactly.
Or salsa class.
Salsa could be really demonic, couldn't it? Salsa, couldn't it?
Yeah, because that's all the hips.
It's all hip action. Some of the lyrics in the songs that they use. Oh my God. What's that guy? Oh, some of the lyrics in his song that they use in the I can't find him now.
Is he a salsa singer? Not Enrique.
Yeah.
Do you mean he's not satanic, surely?
No, but I don't think the Vatican would approve of some of the lyrics in his songs. They're X-rated.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, wow.
Oh my God. Vatican, you've got it wrong.
They've totally got it wrong. They want to be looking at salsa classes down town hall.
Definitely.
Leave the yoga and leave the yoga knitters alone. They are there for peace and nothing else. And they light their incense and they're there to get calm in their otherwise disordered lives. Anyway, so,
I only go so I can have a nap at the meditation bit.
No, I'm going to just divert slightly, but in yoga classes, it's another one of those cases where you must actually be very careful about.
Mindful of what you eat before you go. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think so, because...
yeah, there's a lot of prep before a yoga class.
Well, what if you're in a yoga class?
God, what? Oh God, no! She's got the phone out. No, it's not. It's not even funny. I'm never taking you to a yoga class because it does happen, and you just have to chill. Oh no! You've ruined the podcast.
Sorry.
Breathe into a paper bag or something.
That one was called The Long and Winded Road for anyone who wanted to know. Yeah. So yoga.
Yeah, you do it. It's best not to eat 2 hours before doing yoga.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's revive ourselves. I need to breathe. I need to. Have you got any yogic breathing techniques now that I can get my breath back?
Yeah, I'm going to do some stomach breathing.
Okay.
Right, so slow inhale into your stomach. And then fast.
Okay,
and do it again. Can't remember the name of that breath, but it's spiritual.
I certainly don't feel like I've been possessed by anything. No. I feel really calm after that.
Good. There's a lion breath. You'll like this.
Oh, go on. Oh, what, a lion breath?
Lion breath. Right.
Okay, let's do the lion.
Put your hands on your knees.
Okay.
Right. Deep breath in. Right. Tongue out. Eyes wide.
Oh, that's a weird one.
That is actually a bit demonic.
That is demonic. And that isn't... I don't feel so calm after that one.
We found the issue with
That's what they're talking about. Yeah. So, you see, these guys from the Vatican, how do they must have walked in on somebody's yoga class right at that moment.
At the lion breath.
When everyone was doing the lion breath, and that's why they think it's demonic.
Yeah.
Because there are some village halls in the UK that ban yoga. They won't have yoga classes.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And it's not just the Catholic churches, it's all churches. So that's what's happened. So they need to, I think somebody should invite these guys.
Well, that chap there in the picture, yeah. If we invite him to a yoga class.
Yeah, we'll invite that chap. He looks like he could do with a yoga class. Father Cesare. He looks incredibly stressed out to me.
He does.
You know, look at the worry lines on his head. He's lost all his hair, and he's clearly, he's got a very downturned mouth.
Tough job, exorcism.
Yeah, it probably is. So you need to balance it with something good and holistic and peaceful.
He needs to do a couple of sun salutations.
He does. Right, that's what he needs. We've decided he's just been misinformed by somebody who stumbled into a class at the wrong moment.
At lion breath moment.
At lion breath. Exactly. And I can't talk for Harry Potter movies. I don't know what's happened there.
Don't get that one.
I have to say some of them are quite dark.
They are dark and scary, but it's a classic tale of good overriding evil.
Absolutely.
So how can you say it's satanic? I don't know.
Exactly. Interesting topic, and it's one that has caused a lot of...
But it's not, I mean, if you're saying about the past 15 years, it isn't... stories like that have been around a lot longer, as we know, because last week we had our guest, Catherine Tilling.
Yeah.
Which we haven't released yet, but
no,
coming soon. Story of Dracula. I mean, it's like years old or more. Was it 120 years old?
126, I think he was. Bram Stoker wrote it.
So if that didn't see an increase of satanic, demonic possessions, then I don't see why little Harry Potter has.
Well, exactly. How can you say Harry and
Ron Weasley?
Ron Weasley, he's not demonic in the slightest.
No. I wonder if Daniel Radcliffe does yoga.
I can't imagine him doing yoga. Do you have to take your glasses off to do yoga?
Yeah.
Well, let us know. Let us know what your thoughts are, guys. If you're listening, send us in an email. We'll give you the email address at the end of the show. We have a new email address.
We do.
So we won't forget. So before we do that, before we close the show, let's go over to, should we go over to Daryl Whitebottom for Skeptics View?
Go on then.
Don't forget to ring him.
To.
Don't forget to ring him. But I'm quite keen to find out what Daryl's thoughts are on this.
Skeptics View.
Hello, Daryl. How are you? And welcome to this week's show.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We're very, very well, thank you.
Hold on, I think my mum's calling.
No, Daryl, it's us. We were phoning you.
Sorry, Daryl, it was us ringing you on your mobile. We wanted to know what ringtone you had. Wow, was who do you think that was, Linzi?
It was Beverly Craven.
Was it Beverly Craven?
Yeah,
Daryl!
a blast from the past.
Gosh.
Yeah, I've got Beverly Craven for close friends and family, and everyone else I've got 5-finger death punch.
How?
Wow. 5-finger death punch. Wow, Daryl. Well, I tell you what.
Bit of a contrast there.
It is a contrast. It just goes to show you can't judge a book by its cover. I would never have thought Beverly Craven was one of your favourites, Daryl. So we've just been discussing various topics, but I'm quite interested to get your thoughts on the demonic yoga story, Daryl.
Well, Talker Joe's mum at Stone Sue, she had possession once.
And did she used to do yoga?
Yeah, she runs some classes down Village Hall a couple of times a week. My mum used to go.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
So what happened then? What was the story with possession, Daryl?
Well, police carted her off one week, didn't they? Apparently something to do with the herbs she was using in the smoothies at the end of class.
Oh dear. The herbs in the smoothie.
I'm not quite sure if that's the possession we're thinking of.
I don't think it's the same. I don't think that's, so. She wasn't actually possessed by a demon then, Daryl?
No, she was done for possession.
Right, okay.
Okay. That's not quite what we were talking about. But
Yeah, moving on.
So, wow, Stoner Sue got done for possession. Oh dear. So anyway, we'll let you go then on that note, Daryl. What's for your tea though tonight?
We're having liver and onions.
Ooh, that's really old-fashioned, isn't it?
God, yeah, we used to have that, didn't we?
We used to have it. Yeah, we did. We had it in school, didn't it? School dinners, liver and onions with mashed potato.
God, and then we became vegetarians.
Oh, yeah, it's no wonder, is it? Wow, so liver and onions, Daryl, is that one of your favourites?
Well, my nan's coming round, but she's got no teeth, so my mum has to blend it for her.
Oh, bless her. Oh, that's really nice, Daryl.
Yeah, sometimes we just give her a straw.
God, it's a bit like a smoothie.
A liver and onion smoothie.
It's probably better for her. Well, actually, no. Maybe one of Stoner Sue's smoothies would be better for her.
Get your nan doing some yoga, Daryl. If you give her get one of the recipes from Stoner Sue for one of her smoothies, and see what that does to your nan, perhaps, or maybe not. Well, thank you ever so much for talking to us, Daryl. We'll see you next week.
Right, bye.
Bye, Daryl.
Thanks again.
Oh, bless him. He totally got the wrong end of the stick. It's not quite the type of possession that we were talking about. Oh, well. It's still good to get Skeptics View, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So we've come to the end of the show, so before we do go, we'll give out our email address.
Yes.
That might be a good idea, mightn't it?
We appreciate your emails. Please do send us some, because we don't get any. Other than Dr. Viagra Solares.
Yeah.
Who, unfortunately, we've had to block. Claire forwarded the email to me, and I managed to open the link, and it was shocking, quite frankly.
Yeah, we're quite disgusted with that, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened to him, but it wasn't the type of email we were wanting.
No.
And it gave your computer a virus as well, didn't it? So I think
my computer's on strong antibiotics.
It is. Yeah, it needed a very strong cream for Dr. Viagra is now blocked. So we'd like some emails from people that are listening to our show. One of the things that we also want to say is thank you if you're tuning in to us via YouTube, via Conflict. He contacted us and he got our permission to share our podcast, and we're very grateful for that. So thank you very much. And if you are tuning in through Conflict, you can find us. You can download our podcasts on Podbean, and then you can listen to us wherever you go. Put your headphones in and go for a run, or whatever you can do.
Do your yoga.
Yeah. You can be listening to us at the same time. Although I'm not sure how much peace will bring you during that session, but you can download us. Also, you can listen to us on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel.
Download us off iTunes.
iTunes, of course. Don't forget iTunes. Please download us and please leave us a 5-star review. If you can.
Yes, and if you do, that means you're automatically entered into our absolutely fantastic competition to win
dun dun dun
a Star Trek cosplay top.
Absolutely. Bang on there. It's a Star Trek cosplay top, and we did talk about it in our last show because there was a little mini PARAPADDY from somebody who couldn't decide it does say Deep Space Nine in the label, but somebody argued it was the Next Generation. But we don't actually know, do we?
Do we care? No.
Not really, but you might if you're a big Star Trek,
and if you want to win it. So leave us a review. You've got a really, let me just, without giving too much away, you've got a really good chance of winning.
You've got a very good chance of winning. Because we have literally millions of entries, haven't we?
Yeah. And it's a really good top.
It is actually. It's a genuine one.
And if you don't even like Star Trek, you can just flog it on eBay.
Don't tell them that. Why didn't we do that? It would have paid for the new microphone.
Because we thought it would boost our ratings if we used it as a competition.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Okay. Oh, well, so you can find us on Facebook as well. You can email us on deadcreepypodcast, all lowercase, @gmail.com. And you can also contact us through our Facebook page. So search in Facebook for Dead Creepy Podcast. You'll find us. Mm-hmm. And also Twitter. We're on Twitter. And we're Dead Creepy on Twitter. So please come and say hello. Because we had over 1,500 downloads from our first ever episode. Wow. But we want to hear from you. We want to know what you think. We do appreciate the feedback and the comments.
Send us a story if you want us to read it out.
Absolutely. Send us your stories, and even at the end of the show, we will read out a 5-minute ghost story, like a bedtime story. So if you
have a story, try and time it to be
campfire story would be great. Send us them in, and we would love to hear from you. So I think we'll say goodbye. Let's go and catch some sun rays outside whilst we've still got chance.
Yeah.
Right. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye from me.
Bye.
Bedtime.
This is a story posted to Reddit 5 years ago by blue_title. About 5 years ago, I lived downtown in a major city in the US. I've always been a night person, so I often used to find myself bored after my roommate, who decidedly not a nighttime person, went to sleep. To pass the time, I used to go for long walks and spend the time thinking. I spent 4 years like this, walking alone at night, and never once had a reason to feel afraid. I always used to joke with my roommate that even the drug dealers in the city were polite. But all of that changed in just a few minutes on one evening. It was a Wednesday, somewhere between 1 and 2 in the morning, and I was walking near a police patrol park quite away from my apartment. It was a quiet night, even for a weeknight, with very little traffic and almost no one on foot. The park, as it was most nights, was completely empty. I turned down a short side street in order to loop back to my apartment when I first noticed him. At the far end of the street on my side was the silhouette of a man, dancing. It was a strange dance, similar to a waltz, but he finished each box with an odd forward stride. I guess you could say he was dance walking, headed straight for me. Deciding he was probably drunk, I stepped as close as I could to the road to give him the majority of the sidewalk to pass by me. The closer he got, the more I realised how gracefully he was moving. He was very tall and lanky and wearing an old suit. He danced closer still until I could make out his face. His eyes were open wide and wild, head tilted back slightly, looking up at the sky. His mouth was formed in a painfully wide cartoon of a smile. Between the eyes and the smile, I decided to cross the street before he danced any closer. I took my eyes off him to cross the empty street. As I reached the other side, I glanced back and then stopped dead in my tracks. He had stopped dancing and was standing with one foot in the street, perfectly parallel to me. He was facing me, but still looking up at the sky. Smile still wide on his lips. I was completely and utterly unnerved by this. I started walking again, but kept my eyes on the man. He didn't move. Once I had put about half a block between us, I turned away from him for a moment to watch the sidewalk in front of me. The street and the sidewalk ahead of me were completely empty. Still unnerved, I looked back to where he had been standing to find him gone. For the briefest of moments, I felt relieved, until I noticed him. He had crossed the street and was now slightly crouched down. I couldn't tell for sure the distance and the shadows, but I was certain he was facing me. I looked away from him for no more than 10 seconds, so it was clear that he had moved fast. I was so shocked that I stood there for some time just staring at him. And then he started moving towards me again. He took giant, exaggerated tiptoe steps as if he was a cartoon character sneaking up on someone, except he was moving very, very quickly. I'd like to say at this point I ran away or pulled out a pepper spray or my cell phone or anything at all, but I didn't. I just stood there completely frozen as the smiling man crept towards me. And then he stopped again, about a car length away from me, still smiling his smile, still looking to the sky. When I finally found my voice, I blurted out the first thing that came to my mind. What I meant to ask was, "What the fuck do you want?" in an angry, commanding tone, but what came out was a whimper. What the fuck? Regardless of whether or not humans can smell fear, they can certainly hear it. I heard it in my own voice, and that only made me more afraid, but he didn't react to it at all. He just stood there smiling. And then, after what felt like forever, he turned around very slowly and started dance walking away, just like that. Not wanting to turn my back to him again, I just watched him go, until he was far enough away to be almost out of sight. And then I realised something. he wasn't moving away anymore, nor was he dancing. I watched in horror as the distant shape of him grew larger and larger. He was coming back my way, and this time he was running. I ran too. I ran until I was off the side road and back into a better lit road with sparse traffic. Looking behind me, then he was nowhere to be found. The rest of my way home, I kept glancing over my shoulder, always expecting to see his stupid smile, but he was never there. I lived in that city for 6 months after that night, and I never went out for another walk. There was something about his face that always haunted me. He didn't look drunk. He didn't look high. He looked completely and utterly insane. And that's a very, very scary thing to see.